the first through Ultimate Pace to have the gastric sleeve. She tells me what I can eat. I use the stepper that's like a bike, and they help me step by step. They tell you how to prepare the foods. I also exercise in my home. My self-esteem has gone really high. If it wasn't for Ultimate Pace, I don't know where I would be right now.
Save up to 60% off all hot tubs and swim spas. We have spas to fit or budget. Free professional delivery. Just fill and chill. Instant on-site financing. Skip the crowds, heat, and high pressure. Shop indoors at our Master Spas of Brea showroom. Master Spas of Brea. Visit us online at masterspas.com. That's masterspas.com.
Right now, we're currently slated for this evening to have Sunset back online.
Right now at 6, a new light at the end of the tunnel. The Sunset Strip could soon be bustling with cars once again. The new update after that massive water main break. We are live in West Hollywood tonight. Plus, David.
Kathy, we're still dealing with more heat across the region heading into the weekend, and it looks like potentially it may last well into next week. Coming up.
Merger halted. The agreement. Warner Brothers, we're live with what's behind the delay.
This is NBC4 News at 6.
After 8 days of traffic headaches and business disruptions, there may finally be some relief in West Hollywood. Tonight, crews are less than 5 hours away from reopening a busy stretch of Sunset Boulevard that has been shut down since a massive water main break. Good evening once again. I'm Kathy Vara.
And I'm Annabelle Sedano. Colleen and Michael are off tonight. So we've been with you every step of the way since this break happened last Thursday morning. NBC4's Keenan Willard joins us live from West Hollywood tonight with an update. Keenan, some welcoming news for sure.
Kathy, Annabelle, you can see it right behind us. If you live in West Hollywood, this is what you've been waiting for. They are striping crosswalks here on Sunset Boulevard in West Hollywood. More than a week after this intersection here at Sunset and Holloway looked really like a bomb had gone off. This sinkhole, multiple cars wide, the street destroyed, full of millions of gallons of rushing water. Take a look at it now. That pipe section has been replaced. LADWP putting finishing touches on repairs, saying they believe this street will be reopened here at Sunset in the next few hours. Such a relief after a very disruptive 8 days for this community.
I feel great about it. I am a little surprised, but happy we were able to get it done so quickly, just for all of us who live up here. But yeah, as long as they did a good job, I have no problems with it, right?
Here it's been very difficult. We'll be very happy and we'll be grateful for the heavy duty work that's been going on in this heat.
The LADWP has been working on repairs here on Sunset at Palm and Holloway and West Hollywood since last Thursday when the department tells line burst, flooding the street with more than 17 million gallons of water and creating a sinkhole in the road here. And the floodwaters also damaging businesses, tearing up sidewalks in this neighborhood, flooding underground parking garages as well. Sunset Boulevard's been totally shut down to traffic here that day, with crews working around the clock to repair the pipe and get the street back open here. The repairs have hit multiple snags, though, as new leaks formed in the pipe on Wednesday and early this morning. Still, those setbacks, still to have the road temporarily repaved and open to traffic late this evening. The project does not end there. Over the next few weeks, say they're going to have to come back here and do permanent repaving work, temporarily closing lanes on Sunset once again. And after this major leak in this century-old pipe, LAWP says it's working to speed for 6 miles from this area. LADWP says are really and 2031 and could
We're doing to accelerate very much sooner than later.
The design planning of the replacement project has already started. Materials that they're considering are
So we're in the final stages here of the repair process. Again, LADWP saying it could happen late tonight, that Sunset Boulevard behind us is totally reopened to traffic, at least temporarily, before some of that extra work has to happen in the weeks ahead. Again, you can see the paving, the painting of the crosswalks here. A big sigh of relief for this community. Everybody waiting for that moment when they can safely drive here again. We'll keep you updated immediately as soon as Sunset here in West Hollywood. For the moment, from West Hollywood, Keenan Willard, NBC4 News.
Yeah, so many people can't wait for that to reopen. Thank you, Keenan. Turning now to our weather and the heat that is stretching into our weekend. From the coast to our inland spots, there's no place to cool off as we deal with this dangerous heat.
And as temperatures soar across Southern California, one sweet treat in particular is helping people chill out. It's this shaved ice stand in East Hollywood, and it might get even busier as a heat wave continues this weekend. Meteorologist David Bigger here with more on your First Alert forecast.
Yeah, so we're looking at not only heat, but we're also talking the humidity still. It felt pretty muggy outside today in a bunch of locations, and we had temperatures reach up above 100 degrees once again. We got to 102 in Ontario, 102 at Riverside, 104 around San Bernardino and Hemet, just shy of 100 degrees for Van Nuys. But keep in mind, when you add that humidity factor, it certainly felt like it was into the triple digits. And we got to 105 around Lancaster, 108 for Victorville, and 90 degrees in downtown LA. Average for this time of year is typically in the low 80s. So we are still under heat alerts heading into the weekend. We have a heat advisory that's up for Ventura County and LA County. That's that orange coloring. And then we have the extreme heat warnings up for the deserts and the Inland Empire. This is up through at least Monday. And the reason why I say at least is because even though Monday might be a degree or two cooler than what we'll see over the weekend, I have a feeling this heat is going to go all the way through next week and potentially into next weekend as well. On top of all of this, if you're looking for a place to beat the heat and you're trying to head out to the area, just keep in mind that we're looking at some pretty rough surf. We actually have a beach hazard statement that's up through Sunday evening. We're looking at some large breaking waves, about 3 to 6 feet in height, and dangerous rip currents, which increases the drowning risk. So be very careful if you are headed to the area beaches and stepping into the water to try to cool off. I'll have more on the heat and the humidity coming up in just a couple of minutes. Back to you, Annabelle.
All right, David, thank you for that. And a reminder, you can get the latest heat alerts and check high temperatures in your area by downloading our NBC LA app. Just scan that QR code you see right there on your screen.
An LAPD detective has described the evidence prosecutors say proves the singer known as David was abusing Celeste Rivas Hernandez when she was 13 years old. It is one of the final pieces of the case against the singer. NBC4 investigative reporter Eric Leonard has been in the courtroom all week, and we do have to warn you, some of the descriptions may be upsetting.
The detective has been describing text messages and explicit sexual images allegedly found on David Burke's iPhone as they try to stand up one of the other charges in the case. In addition to being charged with murder, Burke is also charged with the continuous sexual abuse of a minor.
LAPD robbery homicide detective Corey Farrell on the witness stand as the final witness for the prosecution, describing his review of sexually explicit images that he says showed Burke with Celeste when she was 13 and he was 18 and 19 years old. Celeste's parents urged to leave. They stepped outside. The images weren't shown in court. They were found on Burke's iPhone that was discovered during the police search of this Hollywood Hills home that police say they also believe was the crime scene. Later, the detective spent hours reading text message exchanges, many explicit. Some dealt with abortion, marriage plans, Celeste running away from home, and ultimately the end of what Burke allegedly saw as a romantic relationship. Burke is charged with murdering Celeste in April 2025, then dismembering her body, and he's suspected of leaving her remains in his Tesla, where they were found last September. Earlier, LA County Deputy Medical Examiner Grant Ho testified that Celeste was the victim of a homicide, likely caused by sharp force injuries to her chest and abdomen. Photos were shown in court. They were difficult to see. Burke briefly looked away, then watched the testimony and pictures and showed little reaction. The medical examiner says he was unable to be specific about when Celeste died or when she was dismembered due to the poor condition of her remains. During cross-examination by defense attorney Marilyn Bednarski, she suggested it was possible Celeste had stabbed herself to death and that it might not have been immediately clear that she was bleeding and dying after she was injured.
That LAPD detective will be back on the witness stand Monday to answer more questions about the text message exchanges. It's expected the hearing will end Monday, and that's when the judge will decide whether or not the case moves on to a jury trial. At criminal courts, I'm investigative reporter Eric Leonard, NBC4 News.
Developing news, a delay to a major Hollywood deal. The merger between Paramount, Skydance, and Warner Brothers is on hold. NBC4's Robert Kovacic is live in Burbank outside Warner Brothers. Reaction and, of course, what happened next.
Is on hold until June of next year. A merger put off until antitrust lawsuits go to trial and are settled. So what exactly happened here? We are talking about Paramount acquiring Warner Brothers Discovery for $111 billion. It is breathtaking in its scope. It is breathtaking in how it would change the makeup of Hollywood. But it seemed as if it had the green light, overcoming one giant hurdle.
The weird part about this development is that Paramount has the blessing of the Department of Justice, the federal government. That's the party that usually objects and says, oh, this is a violation of antitrust. It's going to kill competition. But here, the feds are okay with it. But the one judge who is responding to the lawsuit by 12 states said, no, we're putting this on hold.
That's right. This is the power of the state of California and Rob Bonta, other attorney generals from other states gathering together and filing an antitrust lawsuit that was soon echoed by the Writers Guild of America. The state attorney generals are saying that this merger cannot go forward. It is not good for competition. It is not good for Hollywood. It is not good for you, the consumer. And so just minutes ago, Attorney General Rob Bonta was celebrating on social media.
Hey there, I wanted to share with you a critical update in our proposed Paramount Warner Brothers merger case. Our coalition has secured an agreement blocking and stopping the merger from happening until June 2027. Specifically, the agreement states that there will be no merger. It cannot occur until either June 1st, 2027, or until the court decides on the legality of our case, whichever comes first. This is great news for movies, for audiences, and for all the people who write, build, create, and support the art, the news, and the entertainment that so many of us love. We look forward to making our case in court, and we are confident that the law and the facts are on our side.
So California and the state's attorney generals from a number of states, including New York, say bring it on. Meantime, Paramount has decided to take their chances in court. So what happens now, the courtroom dramas begin and Hollywood is left on hold. Live tonight here in Burbank, I'm Robert Kovacic. Let's go back to you.
Robert, thank you. Now, fast food and mouth swabs still ahead.